Hey, Real Nerds. There's many ways to enjoy the Real Nerds podcast. You can listen to us on Stitcher, iTunes, and now Spotify and iHeartRadio. You can see what we're up to around town by following us at Real Nerds on Instagram. And if you want to send us your thoughts, you can email us at realnerds@gmail.com or call us at 720-6nerds5. Like us on Facebook at Real Nerds Podcast or tweet us at Real Nerds. And now on with the show.
Hi, this is Dave Callahan, creator of Jean-Claude Van Johnson.
And this is Peter Atencio, the director of Jean-Claude Van Johnson, and you're listening to the Real Nerds Podcast.
This is Real Nerds Podcast, unofficially the official podcast of Denver Pop Culture Con 2020 and beyond. And we are also Westward's choice for one of the top 10 nerdtastic podcasts in Denver. I'm Ryan. With me is
Zach
and
Brad.
Every week on Real Nerds Podcast, we go see a new movie and we podcast our experience to the world. And this week we saw Charlie's Angels. Mm-hmm. And, yep. So stay tuned to the end of the show. We'll tell you if you should see the film or not, and then we'll play the trailer, and then we'll spoil the movie. And we'll also talk about movies we've been seeing, movie news, and movies that are coming out on Blu-ray. Mm-hmm. Before we get started, so Brad and I are on this quest to do office trivia. And so we went to one at Ryan House. And
They had sausages and sauerkraut.
Yeah, please come to Ryan House. We have lots of sausages, and don't worry, we don't have showers.
I really like that German voice. That sounded nice.
Well, you know, I'm really good at doing caricatures and you're not being PC at all.
Well, as a police officer, Ryan's getting the line of fascism, so.
Yes. So actually, it was funny. I went to this isn't funny. I went to a call today, and the dude there had a huge swastika like on his chest. I said, really? I can't believe that stuff is real. You know what I mean?
Is that a good target for your gun?
It'd be a great target. It's right on his left chest, you know. Actually, I have a really funny, it's kind of, the way I'm going to say it's going to sound kind of a racist voice. But every morning I help children cross at the crosswalk at school. And was it last week? It was really windy and cold. I forget what day it was. And I hate wearing jackets. It's just not my thing. And so I was in there and I had a short sleeve on. And this little Asian boy and his mom was walking by. And he looks at me, he goes, "Hey, Officer Frost, what the fuck? Where's your fucking jacket?" He said, "Where's your fucking jacket?" It was really funny. And I looked at him. I said, "I don't know, little boy." I won't say his name on the podcast. Yeah. And you say, "It's so cold outside." But it reminded me of Short Round and Temple of Doom so much.
I was going to say, just to be clear, Ryan's using the impersonation of a Short Round, popular character from a popular movie, to...
Yeah, it was just funny because there's this little Asian boy, and he told me, "Where's my freaking jacket?"
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's probably right. And I told him he sounded like my wife.
Yeah, you should stay warm. It's getting winter, man.
You should tell him your name is Dr. Jones.
Oh, that'd be sweet. Mm-hmm. So anyway, so Brad and I went to this trivia at Rheinhaus, and it was a little disorganized. As these like realtors putting it together.
Yeah, it was our first trivia quiz, I guess.
And I was actually surprised. So Brad and I got 8 out of 38 teams. So we did pretty good.
And we were a team of 2 people.
And they said there'd only be teams of 4, but there's tables with like 9 people.
Yeah.
I thought, what the hell is this shit?
So either they were like
and I don't think
2 different teams together, or they were maxed
and
out.
I don't think they were checking for people using their phones, because some of those questions, I mean, they were good questions. Actually, the trivia was pretty good. But I mean, how would you even know? I mean, unless you've watched episodes and you knew, celery, were... Because they had a lot of Dwight.
People who can't farm celery.
Yeah, they had a lot of Dwight.
Like finish his quote things.
Yeah, finish his quotes. Like, I can't believe you remembered the neck. That was an impressive one.
Or the barrio.
Yeah, or the barrio. And so it was fun trivia, but I think it's rigged. And they didn't have people watching people using the phones. And she didn't even announce it till, I don't know, the 4th out of 5th round. She says, "Oh, yeah, don't use your phone." Mm-hmm. But it was fun.
Yeah. It was only 5 rounds.
Yeah.
8 questions each.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we got most of them.
Yeah, we did. I think we still only missed like 7 or 8 of them.
Yeah, it was that bonus round that was really hard.
Yeah, the bonus round was hard.
You probably already said this, but just to re-clarify, what place did you get?
8th.
Okay. Right on. Not bad.
Yeah.
Like I said, just 2 of us.
Yeah, 8th out of 38. I thought it was actually pretty good.
That's better than most. Like
because the problem is when you both don't know the answer, you can't bounce it off each other.
Yeah.
When we had named Stanley's mistresses, I couldn't remember any of them.
Cynthia and Lydia.
Yeah.
Now I know.
Yep.
What are Kelly Kapoor's 4 different brands?
Yeah, things like that. If you had one more person that could remember that stuff. But yeah, I've been rewatching The Office too. Before I came here, I was watching the one where they haze Holly for Kevin being mentally challenged. And she goes, "It's been a big day for you." "Yeah, it has." "I'm totally going to do Holly. She's nice."
She seems into me.
All right, so you have 25.50. That's a button. You can get anything on the top row. And I just love because, it starts off where Jim's the one who looks at the camera, but as the seasons go along, other people start breaking the fourth wall. And I think that's why that show, it's really cleverly written and really well directed. But I think why everyone really is starting to really appreciate the show is when they break the fourth wall, when Jim does it, it really brings you into the episode. I think it kind of falters in the later seasons when they start introducing the documentary people and the one that has like a crush on Pam or whatever. Come on.
The sound guy, yeah.
No one cares.
If you've been listening to the Office Ladies podcast, that season, Greg Daniels asked Jim and Pam to come up with their own storyline for the season, and so that must have been what they thought of.
But can I spoil our theme for Pop Culture Con?
Sure.
Because I think it's really cool. So
sorry, you just made me think of the other team names you want to do for.
Oh yeah. So Brad
Michael Scott's written for the Cure.
Yeah. So
Michael Scott's Meredith Palmer's Cure. I don't.
Pro-Am Run for the Cure. It's really
make the
long.
Quizmaster have to read it constantly.
Yeah. I was thinking that or Bears beats Battlestar Galactica.
I like that one.
But there were so many. We were the fourth.
Yeah, Scott's
Tots.
But we were the best Scott's Tots by a landslide.
There were 3 Scrantonicities because Scrantonicity was one of our other ones.
Yeah, I'm trying to pay attention to see if I can find a deep cut.
I need to rewatch The Office.
You should.
It's on Netflix. There's no excuses for me.
Yeah,
so.
The cool kids watch The Office.
I know.
Rewatch The Office, then come help us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, 2020 at Pop Culture Con, if you've been following our show, we have a theme the last pretty much every year. Actually, we do have a theme, and so a lot of people might not know this, but the 30th anniversary of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles,
the movie,
is next year.
So of course,
and so we're trying to get a little head start on it. So we're not. Well, Brad designs everything, so Brad's not stuck.
Yeah.
Doing all this stuff at the last minute, and so we came up with designing as Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yep.
And we were thinking about, we forgot that Casey Jones is in the movie, so we can have the 4 Turtles, Casey Jones, and April O'Neil,
and Shredder.
Do we have
Splinter?
Yeah.
Do we have a nemesis like that?
No.
Well, I guess I should be Casey Jones because
that's
I wore the costume.
That's what I was thinking. It ties into it. We're trying to think of what the lamest turtle is for you. That was a tough one to figure out.
Maybe Mikey?
No, Mikey's the coolest.
He should just be Danny.
Yeah. You should be Splinter.
I would love
pre-mutation.
It's just I just draw a rat.
Just draw a rat.
It's just me in a robe.
We were gonna do a big joke and make you like a mouser or something, but that's not in the movie.
That'd be totally funny. Just put big old spectacles on me. Wow, I can't talk. We'll talk a little bit turtles later in what we've been watching. So
cool.
But yeah, no, that's a cool design and nice, very simplistic, very.
Well, I think the focus is going to be the pint glass because I think the T-shirts we're only going to do as a pre-order.
Yeah, that's fine.
And then only have as many as people order, so we don't have a ton of.
Because our glasses went.
Our glasses sold well. The shirts, I have a bucket of shirts from last year, so maybe stop doing that.
Yeah. Or we just throw them, give them away for free. At the end of the day, we already paid for them.
Only if you invest in a T-shirt cannon. That'd be fun.
Done.
Dude, we'd attract even more attention than we did before.
I did not see anything in the rules about having potato guns.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah. It says no weapons.
But you will see us there. This year it's July 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
Yeah.
We'll be celebrating America's independence by blowing a big hole into it. That's an old Simpsons joke.
Yeah.
Thank you. There's some Simpsons news today, too, so...
Dental plan. Lisa needs braces.
Dental plan.
I've been watching some of The Simpsons because it's pretty great.
Mm-hmm. Oh, God.
My favorite episode of The Simpsons is Cape Fear, where Sideshow Bob comes back and they make fun of Martin Scorsese's Cape Fear.
Yeah. Die, Bart, die. No, it's French for the Bart.
German for D Bart. D, because the follow-up joke is even more funny when they say, well, anybody who speaks German obviously can't be a bad guy.
Yeah.
When they're doing that montage of like De Niro in Cape Fear, where he's like preparing and like psyching himself up, and it has like love, hate, and then he just starts showing him doing aerobics, and 1 and 2.
My friend Brandon and I used to always quote where Sideshow Bob's writing the letter to Bart, and he says, "Dear blessed world of," and he passes out and he says, "Use a pen, Sideshow Bob." As he's using blood. Remember The Simpsons was fucking brilliant. Oh man, because since it's on it's Disney's Plus, I've started to watch some of the later seasons.
Mm-hmm. How can you watch it? Because it's not standard 4:3 anymore.
You just spoiled the news.
The later seasons are 16:9, so
yeah.
But they're cropping your original seasons, though.
That's right, they are.
You're missing like
a
sliver of a joke.
You know what? If only you had an actual copy of the episodes.
If only I had seasons 1 through 9 on DVD.
I mean, and wait, you do, because we all do.
Anyways,
I like Homer the Barbershop Quartet a lot.
Oh, that's a great episode.
Like, did you guys like ruin your careers by saying you were bigger than Jesus? Didn't we? It was the name of our 4th album.
Simpsons have a lot of revisionist history.
They're doing that thing on the top of the Barbershop Quartet, and George Harrison comes by and goes, "It's been done."
Yep, Simpsons are great.
Yep,
for 15 seasons.
They'll never stop the Simpsons. Have no fears. We got stories for years.
There's something comforting about knowing that the Simpsons are always on the air.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'll be honest. I don't sit down and watch them religiously, but every once in a while on Sundays, I'll just keep them on. And watch them.
It's convenient. It's there
because after football and
it's weird. Like even in the 5th or 6th seasons, when I was watching them like air in real time, I always felt like the show had already been on for like 12 to 15 years.
When you think about it, it's been on your whole life, but our life,
exactly.
Basically when we pay attention to watching TV, it's always been on.
The way I was introduced to it was like Fox 31 had the double block 5 and 5:30 before Jeopardy. So like come home from school, watch The Simpsons, and then that was it. What else did you do for the rest of the day but quote the episode you just saw?
Fucking A.
That's why I have Simpsons quotes in my head, Ryan. It's also why I didn't learn math. Anyway. Cool.
Sorry, I was just thinking about the pint glass. It should be like the 4 masks, like stacked on top of each other.
And then the back is just a turtle shell. And it says Pop Culture Con 2020 in the turtle shell.
Did you see the Star Wars glasses for the Alamo?
Yeah.
Like there's like a little medallion at the bottom?
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
It is. They're pushing them right now. I wonder if they have more that they've become available or something. Movie news. Wait, fuck movie news. Let's go around town with Brad.
Oh, shit.
Oh, fuck that, too.
This weekend at the Esquire, The Lost Boys is the midnight movie, November 22nd and 23rd.
Yeah. The ad at the Esquire for it, for their recent lineup is the "I Still Believe" song, so that's fun.
Yeah, new digital remaster.
Okay.
So that looks exciting to you. Then there you go.
Nice.
And that's it. The drive-ins out of season. I'm not doing anything. I guess there's EFP on Thursday, so come check out EFP at the Bug.
Yeah.
I'm not screening anything, but.
Sorry. So this is totally off topic. So right now we're investigating something in Idaho Springs, and so the other detective. So I work during the day, and he works at night. So I gave him a bunch of addresses. Said, "Hey, I knocked on these doors, and no one answered." And so he sent me a text message. He said, "I hate you," and I said, "Why?" He said, "Because I went to track down all these addresses, had to talk to a dipshit stoner, an old guy that's like 100 years old, and a fat guy who looks so nervous. I'm pretty sure he shit his pants." So yep. So I sent him back Jim Halpert winking at him.
Nice.
Yep.
And then I guess beginning of December, I can advertise the Bug is doing the Santa Claus Conquers the Martians as a stage production.
Yeah, and Alex told me about a little joke that he wrote for that particular production involving red shirts. So, and he
Star Trek joke.
And he also told me that if I were to come down there that I may not have to pay, but I want to pay anyway because I want to support Equinox. So
It's not an Equinox production.
it's not Equinox production. Fine, I'm going to do it
It's a
for
Bug
free.
Gear production.
Then I'm going to do it for free anyway.
Yeah, and I filmed some stuff for it. So
Oh, nice.
Cool, nice.
yeah,
So there's a reason for people to go see it.
Yeah.
yeah. Before there wasn't.
No, now there is.
Yeah, I mean,
Nice.
if anything, if you go to a stage production, you should go to watch the video content
That's
embedded within it.
That's how it was in our what was it? The spring musical for Little Shop of Horrors. I filmed a segment for it. Of course, everybody came out.
Do you think that if we were still in high school today, that Mr. Klug would be doing like video content inside the
I don't know,
plays?
he's pretty old school.
Yeah, probably not.
Probably not.
But I mean, like after 20 years, like
Oh, maybe.
maybe the school pressure to be like, you got to get people in the seats here.
Times change.
Who's,
I change.
who's Mr. Clue?
Klug is our
Or Klug?
drama teacher.
Oh, okay.
He's a nice guy. I always liked him.
Yeah.
Well, sweet.
He always liked me.
And hated everybody else.
I won the lead in The Odd Couple for doing a skit from Saturday Night Live with Travis Valentine.
Felix?
Oscar.
Oh, okay.
Felix.
It'd be interesting.
Yeah, that'd
You
be
know.
like not typecast at all. Anyway, so the guy who
Be stretching yourself, you know.
the guy I did the skit with won Felix. And
Yeah, that guy was definitely Felix.
yeah, totally.
Okay.
And we did this old Folgers commercial from Saturday Night Live where Chris Farley gets served decaffeinated coffee instead of the coffee he ordered, and he just goes batshit crazy. And Mr. Klug thought it was amazing.
Yeah.
It was maybe a 40-second audition. It was awesome.
Now I kind of want to see you do Oscar on stage.
Yeah, you probably don't.
Yeah, I kind of do. I mean, you don't have
You ever
to.
go back and watch things like, not good?
Yeah, yes,
I mean,
but
when I was done with that play, I remember Mr. Klug told me I was going to rule the school because he thought I was that good in it. But
You did, right?
I mean, I totally did. But
no, I was more meaning like nowadays. Like you could probably pull off an Oscar Madison
yeah.
performance now.
yeah.
You could have Brad play Felix, and you know, it'd be fun.
What?
I don't know. I just want to
No,
put
he
you
played
in
the
things.
cool neighbor who bangs chicks.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'd probably be Felix.
I remember Cliff Smith got so mad at me
Like,
and Keith.
pick that up, Ryan.
Me and Keith Turgeon, because we kept on changing this. So Cliff, our friend, was in sound and in tech, and so there's a part towards the end where I had to say something, and then a doorbell had to ring, and then Keith would come in and say something else, and so every night we changed it. And so every night he never knew when to ring the doorbell, and I would change the You're familiar with what I do. I would change the monologue, not a lot. I mean, I would still say what the monologue was, but I'd always add Ryan's PSs to to
Yeah, like a
And,
tinge of like different word or something like that.
yeah. So there's a part. The one I remember the most is because everyone went crazy. So I kick them out of the poker game,
Right.
And they leave, and then I say my thing, and Keith said, "You have to make sure you say you're right, you're right, you're right 3 times." And it was supposed to be "you're right," and then Felix shows back up.
Yeah.
Well, Keith decided to come in front of Felix coming back, and so I go, "You're right, you're right," and he just busts through the door. He's like, "You're damn right, I'm right." And he shut the door and left. And I'll never forget. People were laughing, and you're always scared of what Mr. Klug is going to do.
Yeah.
I was going to say, you ad-libbing.
Yeah.
He was not a one for ad-libbing.
He was not. However, on that one, so he used to sit in the very front row, and he put up like these wooden, like barriers so no one could sit with him. And I just heard, and then I knew he got it. I was like, he doesn't care.
It's echoing off of the wooden panels he's got separating him from the plebes. Cool. Right on.
Yep. Anyways, what's coming out in movie news? Do we have a Karen thing? No, she's out of town, I think, or something. So, Catching the Classics will return next week.
Nice. Ryan, do you want a Friends reunion?
Could I be more excited? I guess they want to do like a Paley Center. Hey, let's go talk about the show. Not really do a real reunion.
Yeah, well,
I'm down.
HBO Max is going to do something like that. So, but anyway, getting those guys back in a room together sounds
Yeah,
like fun.
I'm thinking about going to the Fathom event where it's like 6 Thanksgiving episodes. It might be fun.
Yeah. Did you go to the one that they did
I
not too
didn't,
long ago?
and so I feel like a horrible Friends fan.
I don't think that's going to define your fandom. It's missing that Fathom event.
Maybe.
I mean, like, Well,
I mean, I do own them all, so I'm really just paying to sit in a theater. That made fun though. Like sit in theater, have some popcorn, watch some friends.
I feel you sometimes when I miss a Riff Tracks because I'm just like, man, I'm a terrible Riff Tracks getter, whatever they call themselves. But it's Misties, but Misties are part of Mystery Center Theater. Paramount Pictures sold the rights to make Beverly Hills Cop 4 to Netflix with an option for another sequel. So we're getting some more Beverly Hills Cop, which. Billy, I need your help. All right, Axel. I don't like the Quirks cartoon. But yeah, I mean, Ryan, you saw Dolomite Is My Name, as did I. I mean, Eddie Murphy seems to be back.
Dolomite My Name is a great movie.
Back in a groove. So if we get some more Axel Foley out of that and done with some nice little intent, I'd be totally down for that.
When you watch Dolomite Is My Name, it makes you realize how much you've missed Eddie Murphy being Eddie Murphy.
Dude, I feel like I missed him so much that at near the end of that movie I started crying because I'm just like, man, it was so much fun hanging out with you.
Right.
Well, that and the fact that the character is just amazingly well performed.
Yeah.
Watch Dolomite Is My Name. It's on Netflix. It's fucking great.
It's good.
No, it's great. It's pretty great. It's written by two writers who know how to write a biopic correctly. Brad, I'm confused. What's Black Adam and what does it have to do with DC? I know Dwayne The Rock Johnson's involved.
Why are you asking me?
Because you're the DC fan.
So Black Adam is also imbued with the power of Shazam.
Okay.
He's like an ancient Egyptian. So his story is tied to Egypt.
Okay.
And he's not totally a bad guy, but he's pretty much a bad guy. So he's basically Shazam's arch enemy.
So is this film gonna be like in conjunction with Shazam, or does it even matter at this point?
I'm sure it will be. Something tells me it's going to be a lot like Venom.
I was about to say, sounds like Black Adam is the Venom of
where
Shazam villains.
where he's a bad guy, but then he became popular, so people kind of go, let's make Black Adam kind of an anti-hero.
Okay.
He's kind of like Neymar, so
which I want them to do in the MCU
so
at some point.
Neymar could be a good guy or a bad guy depending on who you are. I mean, he's king of the Atlanta, prince of the Atlanteans, and any perceived threat he'll kill you.
Dude, he took out a submarine.
That's right.
He's a badass.
That's right.
I want him in the
I am
MCU.
not as well versed in Black Adam. I know some of his story because I play Injustice.
Oh, okay.
Now, if you ask me DC like Harley Quinn or Batgirl, gotcha.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm really just Batman.
Okay,
Yeah,
for
that's
sure.
all I got.
Fair enough.
You should pick up Harleen. It's a new prestige format comic.
The Black Label series? Or?
Yeah, it's $8, but it's oversized, and it's so it's like a magazine size, and it's 68 pages, no ads. And the first two issues deal with her falling for the Joker, and her so it basically expands on her story because it doesn't really reveal anything. It's just more of a character study, so there's really no fighting it. Well, actually, at the beginning there's a great moment where she first meets the Joker and Batman, and Batman's like beating the shit out of Joker, and people are cheering him on. It's pretty wickedly awesome.
Very nice.
So yeah, and it's cool because it basically she's obsessed with him because no one can get through to the Joker, and so she goes through all his paperwork and she says, he says the same thing. He's incapable of feelings, and then she reads something and she picks up on something that he does, and so her goal is to break him. And what's really cool is if you know the story, he's actually playing her, and it's really fascinating, her descent into being crazy.
Okay. That Birds of Prey trailer got me really digging on the Harley Quinn thing again, so I'm definitely gonna check
I love
some stuff
her
out.
little saying in the trailer where she says they should be afraid of me, not Batman, not Mr. J, me. I'm Harley frickin' Quinn. I'm like, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Looks like a fun film.
I like when she breaks free of the Joker, but it's also interesting to see her work with the Joker, because they also have another one called Criminal Sanity, where she's a criminal forensics person. So it's basically like a...
Is it like a redo of The Origin?
It's like a Hannibal show, but so she's a criminal forensics person, and the Joker is a serial killer. So they're going around and...
Okay. That sounds like fun.
It's interesting. It's been one. The art in them is fantastic. What's really cool is they let the artists kind of do what they want. So it's really cool. If you might like the John Carpenter did a Joker one shot.
I heard, and
interesting.
I'm down to read whatever.
It's hard to find.
You know, hey, if I can fund his video game habit, I'm all for it.
Anyways, I keep on going.
When I heard John Carpenter was playing Fortnite, like, because I know what Fortnite is like on a basic level, that's when I was just like, man, like, I don't understand the world anymore. But that's cool. If he likes playing it, who am I to judge?
Yeah, right.
Video games are for all
video
people's.
games.
Yeah,
I've been playing the fuck out of Link's Awakening.
I should find a console that I like and start playing it.
So the Friday the 13th game is coming to Switch?
It's out.
It's out, yeah.
The cover's way cooler. It's like him coming out of the water.
Yeah, it's like all the stuff.
Yeah.
Like Ultimate
I think
Slasher
it's
Edition.
$30.
I know, but it's going to be $20, I think, on Black Friday.
Oh, nice.
But I bought the PS4 version one last year. I'm wondering, should I still wait for a PS4 or
you could
spend
give it
$20?
to me and I'll just get a PS4.
Yeah?
I don't know. I mean, is PS5 coming out soon? Or
Next year.
Okay, so if it can play PS4 games, okay, then
backwards compatible.
Then just give it to me, Ryan or Brad.
Okay.
You're not Ryan.
No, I'm not.
Yeah. I mean, if you really want to get a game console and you don't know what you want, I'd get a Switch Lite.
Really?
Yeah. I mean,
It doesn't dock to your TV though.
Yeah, it doesn't dock to the TV, but it's $199 and you can play all the Switch games on it. I mean, unless you want it to dock to your TV. I mean, so it's another $50 to have it docked to your TV. But I've been telling that to one of the ladies I work with. Her boy really likes Mario, but she's a single mom, so she's,
Your text came through finally.
Yeah, I just got it too. So she was curious if a Switch Lite would be good for her son, who really likes the DS. And I said, yeah. I mean, unless you want to hook it up to your TV. I said, if a Switch Lite, if your son likes playing DS and you want to, watch TV, I mean, it's $199, so it's only $20 more than a Nintendo DS right now if you get the flip one.
Yeah.
So, she said, oh, that's kind of a good deal. I said, it's a great deal.
Yeah, I'll have to look at it. I mean,
I said, if you, unless you're into, gaming.
No.
I mean,
I'm like, if you give me like a story game, I'll play it. If it's multiplayer, like unless I'm playing with
multiplayer.
Yeah,
games.
if I don't do online thing or whatever, like the way I get into video games, if I play them, is I'm like, okay, is there a story that I have to complete? Good, okay, I'm done. With that's why I want to play the Friday the 13th game and any Mario game that's come out recently.
Then you got to get a Switch.
Yeah, so
I mean, I think Mario Odyssey is the best Mario game ever made.
All right, then I guess Nintendo's getting my money sometime.
They should, because I literally, so I got Luigi's Mansion, and I haven't even opened it yet because I've just been playing Zelda like crazy. Because I get sucked into it. Because, the Switch are in sleep mode, so when I turn it on, Zelda is just going, I'm like, I'll just run around for a little bit. And I go, oh.
Too lazy to switch menus.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, now I'm going to go run and do this quest. Oh, this monkey gave me a stick? What can I do with this stick? But the game's great if you haven't played it yet.
I'm so far behind on Switch games.
We talked a little bit about it.
We're doing other stuff, too.
We talked a little bit about it earlier in the episode, but the Simpsons aspect ratio problem is apparently going to be fixed by early 2020 on Disney+. So, it kind of sucks that they didn't figure that out, but I think that the Simpsons was not really on their high priority list in terms of getting that set up and ready to go. Like, they've got The Mandalorian and other OG content for their system.
They probably brought it up there and I didn't think it would be an issue.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean... this I thought was kind of cool. The Russo brothers are doing a little docuseries for Quibi that will be talking about the Marvel versus DC kind of like.
What the fuck is a Quibi?
Quibi is a short-form content streaming service that is being done by Spielberg.
Oh, maybe I'll pay for it.
But this the Quibi it's a Marvel versus DC docuseries called Slugfest. And it's based on the book by Reed Tucker, Slugfest Inside the Epic 50-Year Battle Between Marvel and DC, which I haven't read the book, but the Marvel book that you recommended to me 3 years ago now is one of my favorite Audible listens.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So I may want to check this book out, and we'll report back to each other. Let us know. We'll let each other know if it's any good.
Nice.
We've had to do that with the Cary Grant book before. Like, we should do a side podcast.
I should let you borrow that Evenings with Cary Grant. It's amazing.
It's just the fact that you're telling me that it's dictation letters and stuff like that, just actual correspondence is why I really want to read it. The last piece of news that I have, unless I've missed anything, is Remember, you probably don't remember, but I've bitched a lot about how Netflix films won't be put on Blu-ray and Ballad of Buster Scruggs will never see the light of day and whatnot. Well, it turns out that Netflix is giving Roma to the Criterion Collection, which I bring it up as news because that means there's the possibility that a lot of films going forward can get onto a physical format. So that's pretty damn cool news. So, I'm just saying, The Ridiculous Six, Murder Party,
Adam Sandler six-pack.
Yeah, exactly. You could.
I mean, I'd get it. I'm not gonna lie.
Listen, if they could do a Godzilla pack with that nice pop art and whatnot, just imagine like an Adam Sandler one where it's
maybe on the cover going.
Ooh! Yeah, exactly. Like do. But like, just imagine the possibilities we have here. A Dolomite Is My Name Blu-ray. I would love.
Thank you, every once in a while. I have Marvel shows on Blu-ray from Netflix.
Yeah. Well, they've done it mainly with their TV stuff, not their movies. That's why this is pretty fun. But yeah, and Roma's a good movie. Check it out. It was a wonderful film from last year. I think my number 5. But yeah, that's news.
I can't believe you didn't bring up that the antitrust for the Paramount decree is going away, which basically means that they're going to allow movie theaters to own theaters again. And
wait, when did this happen?
Maybe today. And so
okay, I didn't see it then.
So
sorry.
They're worried about studios are going to strong arm smaller independent films. So it's like, Disney owns El Capitan.
Right. But that's weird. It's a weird like after effect of the antitrust suit back from the 50s.
So that's going to go away. And so
the drive-in sent me the article.
Yeah.
Not entirely sure how that affects them, but I think they're going to be I think it does not bode well.
That's a big problem because we tried this before. It didn't really work.
I think the only upside is that like stuff that's being held back, like Disney with Fox movies for like midnight screenings and stuff. I think that gets turned around.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
it's very interesting. I don't know.
It's complicated. I was trying to understand
because
it.
I mean, technically, if movie studios buy theaters and they force you to see those certain movies, you can sue them under antitrust because you're not allowing them. It's taking advantage of consumers,
right?
Yeah, I mean, because Disney already strong-armed people with The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
So it's interesting, and I mean, I think that the Paramount decrees from 38 or something.
48.
48. And
yeah.
It's an interesting article.
Well, and a lot of that has to do with like just it's like the whirlwind of everything that happened at that point between television coming in, between and that antitrust suit was there like 10 years prior, but then it was kind of ignored during the war, and then it comes back to the fold after that point.
And, it's interesting if you read books from the studio system, or you read about producers like Selnick and stuff, you can see why those things exist, because those people were not nice people.
No.
I'm interested to see, because now movies make so much money that it'll be interesting. And then it'll be, because it could also be, Netflix opens up a theater and say, hey, if you want to see our movies in the theater.
Yeah, if you want to, like fucking Irishman or Dolomite Is My Name. If you really want to see those movies, Marriage Story is coming out not too long in a while. So, I mean, like, I don't know what that looks like in the current era. I just know what it looks like. Like, you can hear a story from years ago and learn its lesson. If it happens again, it's just like, okay, well, what do we know and what do we not know about how this can affect the industry? Because the industry's changed so much in 80 years.
You posted an interesting article, too, about a guy from a video store.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he touches on something I think is really right. And people always make fun of me because I still buy physical stuff.
Yeah.
In the article, he says people realize that you don't have everything.
Yeah.
There's this farce that people put out, say, oh, Netflix has 15,000 titles.
Yeah.
But do they really?
No.
I mean, where else can I get, I mean, I love Cary Grant, and the only way I can get those movies is I had to order them from Warner Archives to have them printed on a DVD and sent to me.
Right.
So he's right on that. And there's this thinking that you can get whatever you want. And I was even reading an article that Disney Plus is going to start dropping things.
Yeah.
So even though they own them, they're going to put them theoretically back in the vault.
The vault.
You really don't own. Again, I've always said you don't own things that you stream.
Yeah.
They're going to take them away from you.
If you can't hold it in your hand, it's not yours. And but I mean, again, and also, within the realm of theatrical distribution, the bigger question is just like, okay, well, if you have like, let's say you have a Warner Theater again, and you have like the Paramount Theater, and you have the, MGM had Lowe's theaters back in the day. If you have all that, like, where does it leave something like like a Universal who just decides, well, I'm not going to own a theater, which is, Universal didn't have their own theater chain. They had to rent out from other chains. So I'm curious how it'll work out, but that's interesting. I had no idea that happened.
Does that mean Disney will be like, hey, Alamo, like, you have to buy up, you have to fill all your screens with Rise of Skywalker, or else, you don't get Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, because they brought up that Last Jedi thing in this article. I think it was in Variety. I don't remember. I get movie stuff all the time. I don't remember where I got it from. Where some movie theaters in smaller towns didn't show The Last Jedi because they had to stay there for 4 weeks. And their argument is, well, there's only 5,000 people in our town. After 2 weeks, everybody's seen it.
Yeah.
So we have one theater. So you're going to force us to show this for 4 weeks and no one's going to come in? I get it.
Yeah.
Something like that, you'd have to change your because I live in a town that only has barely 2,000 people. If you have a movie theater there, you'd have to have one screen, and you'd show for 2 weeks you'd show freaking Avengers Endgame, and then after end of 2 weeks, then you're gonna put in I don't know, fucking Deadpool 2. I don't know what came out after that, but
I mean,
does Idaho Springs need a movie theater?
I wish.
I mean, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I mean, it's interesting. I'd be curious to see, if a news article like that comes out, what's the PR response from any studio, especially Disney, because they've had PR snafus in the last 5 years. But it's mostly theme park related. But
at the end of the day, they're like, well, if you want to see these movies, you're gonna have to come here.
Yeah,
and it's up to you if you want to see them.
Yeah,
but I think that'll further alienate people from going to the theaters,
which sucks.
We'll see.
But there are a lot of factors in the theater going experience. But
have you noticed any properties in Idaho Springs that could
the gold
become
mine?
A theater?
Well, the
gold mine.
So there is an old opera house that is like this flea market right now that's really kind of obnoxious. But when you walk in, you can see so you go down like a ramp, so you could literally go down and put like a screen up. Yeah, you could do it.
Sweet.
Open up. Call the Majestic.
Hell yes.
I feel like a dork when you said flea market. I was like, it's just like a mini mall in my head.
Dirt mall.
Dirt mall. It is a dirt mall. The people there are really nice.
I should go down to the flea market in Idaho Springs. Why not? I
remember that picture you sent me from the flea market with the watermelons. Do you remember the sign you sent me?
Yeah.
Oh God.
I could not believe that existed. I'm not going to say because it's really bad, but
no, it's terrible.
But they have a. I keep forgetting to go back. They have a huge VHS vault there.
Do they?
Yeah. So gotta check that out.
Cool. Yep. Movies coming out.
DVD releases and Blu-rays.
Well, guys, the best release of the week is hands down. I mean, there's many great ones, but the best one is the 40th anniversary steelbook of Rock and Roll High School, 1979 classic from Roger Corman's stable. You can check that out on Shout Selects. Guys, I don't know if you know this. That movie's pretty amazing. It has the Ramones and PJ Souls, and for some reason Clint Howard runs a weird dating service out of a boy's bathroom. It's strange.
I think that's what he's doing now.
I thought you saw him in 3 from Hell. He also does that, right?
Well, that's why he had to do 3 from Hell to keep
that
going.
Keep that weird operation from Rock and Roll High School going.
Cool story, Corman nerd.
Yeah. That's a...
Roger Corman, more boobs.
Roger Corman's a true giant. That movie's fun. But yeah, you can check that out on Blu-ray. Now, the big release that Ryan and I are probably going to love the hell out of is the Abbott and Costello, the complete collection. And you already have it, I'm assuming, or did you do the pre-order through them?
No, I ordered it from Amazon. They charged me last night, and it's not going to be here till Thursday. So I don't know why it's taking so long to be delivered.
I've had issues with the pre-orders last times I've did them.
Yeah, this is the first one. I haven't had one in a long time, but I mean, my thing hasn't updated that it's shipped, but they charged me, so that means it's shipped.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe it'll show up tomorrow, and I'll be surprised.
Maybe there's backup because of the holidays. I don't know.
I was thinking because it dropped in price, $80. So it's like one. I think mine was like $120.
You know that speaking of that, the price drops though. You know that Hitchcock thing that we were looking at, the with the blueprints and shit. That thing dropped down to fucking $50.
Wow.
So
the thing with like Shout movies though,
goodbye
they
money.
Really don't drop that often.
No, but they shouldn't have to because it's worth it.
Yeah, so we'll see. I'll have 27 Abbott and Costello movies.
Yeah. Amongst the more newer releases, Criterion is putting out Cold War, which was a Oscar nominee from last year. You can pick that up.
So cold in his word. I think that's a line from the movie.
I mean, yeah, except it's dubbed into another language. But anyway, you can check that out if you so desire. Also,
Joffrey Lagarry.
Wow.
Stuff like that in French. I forget what war in French is.
I'll have to check out this movie now and go. Ryan,
cold in French.
You speak French, so
not in a long time.
Tango Frio.
Yes. Which is Spanish for I am cold.
Ryan? Did you see Dora in the City of Lost Gold or whatever? Okay, well you can pick that up on Blu-ray. I didn't know since you got a kid.
It's weird because I think the girl who plays Dora is supposed. I think in real life she's 18 or 19. They try to not make her attractive, but you can still see that she's kind of attractive, and it's really weird.
Okay.
Swiper, no swiping.
Oh man. Shout Select is putting out Chuck Berry, Hail, Hail, Rock and Roll. You can pick that up in a collector's edition. That sounds like
Chuck
fun.
Berry.
Yeah.
Except when he peed on women. That was weird.
Yeah, very weird. Don't pee on women, guys, especially if you're
Is it weird that he did that, or someone actually recorded him doing it?
I think everything about it is weird, and it's hard to pick specifics.
Charles,
I'm
it's your cousin.
I'm just peeing.
Marvin Berry. You know any sound
heard...
you're looking for? Well, listen to this.
We never did hear the other end of that discussion on the phone. We just heard Marvin's end. So
you peeing my. Are you peeing back there, Charles?
The 20th anniversary of Jawbreaker is coming out on Blu-ray. I forgot that movie came out in 1999. Suspiria from 1977 is getting a 4K release from Synapse Films.
That might look pretty awesome in 4K.
I guess it's also they're carrying over the recent 4K transfer that they did for the Blu-ray release. So that's good news because I heard that particular release was very well curated. Suspiria.
The trailer is epic.
Warner Archive is putting out a Lana Turner Kirk Douglas movie that is really good called The Bad and the Beautiful. You can check that out. Also got Walter Pidgeon and Dick Powell. So.
Dick.
Wow.
Powell.
Universal is putting out one of their vault titles again, and it's Scarface from 1932, the original Howard Hawks version, which has
good.
2 cuts. Yes, thank you. You're correct. It's got 2 cuts of the film, one that the censors rejected and the one that,
Yeah, see, I'm going to shoot you with this gun, see? And then it cuts. And then the uncensored version is like, I'm going to shoot you with this gun, see? And then he shoots him and you see blood.
Yeah.
And then he turns to the ventriloquist and tells him to shut up.
Yeah, every time you see an X, that means somebody's going to die, see? It's called visual metaphor, see?
James Cagney.
James Cagney's not in that movie, but yes.
We're doing a James Cagney.
It's Paul Muni, George Raft, and Boris Karloff.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do?
Yeah.
And that's a Karloff role just after Frankenstein, but it's like a carryover because it's a Howard Hawks movie produced by Howard Hughes. So guess how long it took to fucking make. There's a re-release of 3,000 Miles to Graceland. That's a movie I still haven't seen, even though I love Kurt
Kevin
Russell.
Costner movie one?
Yeah, well, Kurt Russell's in it too. So I think, and yes, he has first billing on the poster, so it's Kurt Russell's movie.
I saw a meme where they said Kurt Russell's punched 37 times in Death Proof before they stump on his head.
Really?
Yeah.
In a row?
Yeah. Maybe want to go back and watch it. I'm like, does he really punch them? I think he is. He's punched a lot.
Yeah. Well, you mean he had it coming. I'm sorry.
One of the greatest line deliveries of all time.
Scream Factory is putting out The Fan from 1981. It's a movie I have not seen before, but the guys, when they talked about it on the Shockwaves, the guys who do Scream Factory, they said that it's just a film that's kind of have a weird niche audience. So I'd want to check it out. Shout Selects is putting out Edward James Olmos' film American Me. I have not seen that movie. Maybe I should check it out. I don't know.
We did a panel with him.
Edward James Olmos?
Yeah, like 3 years ago at Comic-Con.
Really?
Yeah, James did. I was doing. My panel at the same time was the guy who played Boba Fett in the films, not
Jeremy Bullock.
Yes, he was really nice. He did like acting classes with people. It was fun.
Okay, interesting.
I mean, he's no Kevin Conroy when he sung.
I mean, but he's Edward James Olmos. He's done some things.
He was British, right? So he had an accent.
He is, yeah.
Yeah.
And then Charlie's
I was
Angels.
Boba Fett.
And then last thing is Charlie's Angels is coming out on the complete series is coming out on Blu-ray from Mill Creek. So I guess
Cool.
I didn't realize Mill Creek did Blu-rays. So
Oh, yeah.
cool. Did they put them in those crappy little packages like
No,
they
they're
usually
blue.
do? Or?
They did that Last Action Hero,
Yeah.
like VHS style
I
release.
keep on waiting. They should make a special edition of that movie.
Come on, Shout.
Yeah.
This is right up your alley.
It's a Shout Select. I would love to see a documentary about the making of that film.
I mean,
Love to see it.
it'd be great. Give it a couple more years. If nothing happens, I'll try to start making it.
Do it. I mean, it'll be 30 years in 3 years.
Yeah. The last release is a fun little title, Ryan, for you and I, called Hitchhike to Hell.
Nice.
From 1977. The poster is a guy driving a dead body, and then that same guy carrying a suitcase. If you look at it, it's like all kind of neon-y and shit. So you can check that out. And that's Blu-rays.
We watch stuff throughout the week in a segment I call What We've Been Watching. Brad? Was that enough space?
No.
Okay, we do. We see stuff all week in a segment I call What We've Been Watching. Was that really good?
Yeah, but Zach ruined it by giggling through it. So
Fuck! Every week we watch shows and movies in a segment I call What We've Been Watching.
So, this is the stuff we've been watching.
Okay, we're good. And go.
This week I watched The Toys That Made Us, Season 3.
Oh, yes.
So did I.
I forgot to watch that.
They had the Ninja Turtles expose in it, and I thought it was actually kind of shallow.
Nice. Fuck them then.
It seems like they really did more of like focusing on the entire history of like the turtle phenomenon,
Right.
more than the figures, and like they missed an opportunity. Like it was great they focused on the Playmates figures, but NECA's killing it with figures, and they could have like addressed the new stuff. Yeah. The only really good part was seeing Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird, who have had this fractured relationship for 20 years now, come together by the end of the episode. But I feel like it's a little more fabricated than it really is about like their split. Like I think they edited it to make it seem more dire than it really is. But it was really sweet to see them kind of come together and like draw some stuff at the end.
Yeah. The framing around Mirage Studios and what it represents is a really cool part of the episode.
Yeah. But yeah, they spent a lot of time talking about like the TV deal and everything, and it's like just focus on the toys like the other episodes.
Yeah, I could have done without the interviews from Vanilla Ice, and I don't
Yeah.
understand really why Kevin Smith's talking about them. So he has
like
virtually nothing to do with the Turtles other than that one cameo in TMNT. So
every time I ever heard Kevin Smith talk about the Eastman and Laird comics, like he's always been like completely misinformed.
yeah, so I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's. I like that show, but I'm also aware of what its intent is. So.
Yeah, I mean, I felt that way about the first season too. I mean, it's cool seeing it, but I think as a documentary, they're not that. They rely a lot on nostalgia.
But I felt like they at least had like better and like more in-depth interviews with the people who made them.
I mean, the He-Man one was great. I love the He-Man one.
I like the Transformers one a lot because it talks a little bit about like there's stuff I didn't know about that franchise, but also like Peter Cullen's interview is really good.
Do you think
And the
because
Star
you're
Wars one.
so close to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that is why?
There's a possibility that like I know a lot of this stuff already, so it's not as interesting. But I still felt like compared to like the Star Wars one and the Transformers and the G.I. Joe stuff, like it felt like
I think the Star Trek one's the most interesting because it's talking about a toy franchise that's not really a toy franchise.
Yeah.
you know,
that doesn't have a ton of merchandise.
right?
Whereas the Turtles does, and it's just kind of a shame that they don't like they have so many figures in that line, and there's so many like variants of just the same four things.
Yeah,
that it's just kind of glossed over.
I mean, I don't know how you felt about it. I think the Power Rangers one was rather interesting, just because of like more or less about the history of Saban Films than anything else, and like, that whole history, like, and you know,
and they tied into the Japanese stuff.
Did I ever tell you that I did a panel at Denver Pop Culture Con with Amy Jo Johnson and Jason David Frank?
Yeah,
well,
I heard one of them was a douche.
I know. I can't believe she was that way. She might be listening to the show, and she's like, I really like those Real Nerd guys. What are they going to say about me?
Fuck.
No, Amy Jo Johnson was amazingly nice.
Yeah.
One of the few people that was actually early to panel.
Yeah. So yeah, the initial one's okay. Not everything I was hoping for. And then they did My Little Pony, wrestling, and
Power Rangers.
Power Rangers, yeah. So the wrestling one was actually a little more fascinating because they had like all these rival lines, and the licenses would constantly get taken away and transferred, and all the Jim McMahon,
Vince McMahon,
all his shenanigans.
Oh yeah.
Like,
I'm going to create a football league because fuck it, why not?
yeah, like
Vince!
that in there, but yeah. And then My Little Pony was cute, but it's not.
I still never get the appeal of My Little Pony.
The
Girls love horses, man.
That episode clearly had like divided opinions on two girls like horses.
Probably the most fascinating part for me was like, the original line they were going to do, like they're all colored like real horse colors, and then the original creators like, what, you want to make them pink and blue? That's insane. And obviously that's
what they're known for.
Yeah.
Now,
The My Little Pony episode is a pretty fascinating insight into like whose voice is listened into a room and at that point in time and who's not. Like the opening of the episode is like the 70s was a time of recession, and so it's like footage of of New York in the 70s, and I'm just like, that's a really grim way to start a My Little Pony episode. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm not turtle literate per se, so I enjoyed the episode enough, but it's not as good as that documentary.
Get ready for next year, because you're going to hear a lot about it.
Oh, I know. I think I'm going to have to do a revisit to the movies. So.
Year of the Turtle.
Yeah, Year of the Turtle.
I wonder if it is actually the Year of the Turtle, the Chinese Zodiac.
That would be so crazy if it was.
I'm looking right now.
That'd be awesome. The other thing I watched was also on Netflix was Living with Yourself with Paul Rudd.
Oh, I watched the first episode of that.
Yeah, plays a clone. Since you haven't seen the other episodes, it's not a spoiler, but the amazing thing about the show, I think, is how, the first episode kind of follows the one guy. Second episode, you kind of follow the clone and how he got to where he is. And then the third episode go back to, his original self. And the fourth episode will... Huh?
It's not the Year of the Turtle. It is the Year of the Rat.
Close enough.
Yep. Specifically the Metal Rat.
The metal.
So anyways, talking
so
about
throw up the
Paul
horns,
Rudd.
hardcore,
Yeah.
Metal Rat,
Fucking A.
Mouse Rat.
You're the Metal Rat, bro.
Yes.
So it's cool how they show, like, each episode is almost from a different perspective of a character in the show, because later on it's like how his wife saw the entire experience.
Oh, cool.
And the fallout of that, and like each episode overlaps a little bit, so you get like a teaser for like, what's going to happen in this next episode, and then like the next episode doesn't get to that until the end, and you see like how that perspective changed. And just the two Paul Rudds alone, like I forget that it's the same actor the whole time. Like it's so well done, combining the same person in all these shots. I don't see CGI at all. It's incredible. So and the story is really interesting. Yeah.
I mean, I watched the first episode and I was hooked, but I just get busy.
Yeah.
And it's hard for me to sometimes watch things because I have to compete with two other people.
Yeah. I guess I should explain to people listening. So the show is about Paul Rudd. He is like in a rut in his life. His marriage is dissolving, and a friend at work tells him like, "Hey, you should go to this spa."
Because it seems like he used to be like Paul Rudd, and he's like, look at me now, and everybody loves him.
Yeah, I'm a success now, and I did this, so this could help you too. And initially, he kind of blows it off, but then he's just like, all right.
I love the cameo at the beginning, or
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady.
Yeah. It gets funnier in the later episode because there's another version of Tom Brady running around. So he goes to the spa, and then they say they're like gonna heal him, but there's like an accident, and they actually end up cloning him illegally, and then
they bury.
And so they bury the clone, thinking that it's dead, and no, it rises from the grave, and then tracks him down, and then both Paul Rudds have to figure out how to manage their life with two versions of themselves.
Somehow I manage.
Yep. So that was cool. And then the last thing I watched was really good, I thought, and actually saw it twice already. Ford v Ferrari.
Nice.
What?
Saying.
What's that?
I said, man, are we seeing Ford versus Ferrari?
I can wait.
No, you talk about it, because I'm talking about when we were at trivia, and I said, hey, man, so our film of the week is Ford versus Ferrari, right? You said, no, I think the guys want to do Charlie's Angels. I said, really? And you said, did I stutter? And I was like, wow.
No, you put those words in my mouth because you were quoting The Office.
Yeah.
James on the episode said, "Hey, you guys should watch Charlie's Angels," and we said, "Oh, that's adorable because you won't be here." Yes, we totally get that, James.
Yeah, no, I meant Ford v Ferrari. So when you posted Charlie's Angels, I was like,
Whatever.
all right.
We saw a movie.
What are we seeing next week, though? Maybe I should save it because Knives Out is Thanksgiving week.
Frozen.
Oh, Frozen. Okay,
Yeah,
I guess
Frozen
we're touching
and-
that.
There's like a couple movies. Hey, keep talking. Ford
Anyway.
versus Ferrari.
Is fantastic. You probably saw I gave it 4 stars on Letterboxd. It's the story of Carroll Shelby, famous race car driver and sports car designer.
So next week is A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, Frozen 2, and 21 Bridges.
Jesus Christ, that's full day.
Yeah, so
But we should save one of those because I think the 6th is the Playmobil movie.
yeah.
Wait, Ryan, you don't watch Playmobil? The
Tom
movie?
Holland is one of the voices. So,
Is it the play or the mobile?
anyways,
He's
sorry.
the guy who took a really big check home.
No one else saw this movie this week, right?
No.
No.
Okay. I was hoping for like some surprise, like, oh, the movie of the week actually is this.
No.
I wish.
And I wish it
No,
was.
I wish.
So Carroll Shelby, he's got a buddy, Ken Miles, played by Christian Bale. He's like so in tune with racing, like he's a racing god, but he also is dysfunctional. He's like flies off the handle. Like the people who want to sponsor him don't want to sponsor him because he's not a good image for the brand.
Right.
So anyway, Ford's in a slump. They come calling to Carroll Shelby. They say, hey, we need a brand refresh. What can we do? Actually, Lee Iacocca decides they need to get into racing. So
Because they want to update Ford's brand.
they want to update Ford's brand. And Ferrari is, that's the car the kids want. Like that's what it's in movies. They're excited.
The sleekness of it
Yeah.
all, yeah.
Like that's the energy we need to harness.
Yeah. Don't worry, I
And
didn't
guess
see
what?
the movie. I just know the story.
Yeah, and guess what? Ferrari's going out of business because they spent so much time making an awesome car, like and perfecting it. They've run out of money.
Mm-hmm.
They don't mass produce cars. They build amazing ones, but only sell a few, right?
Right.
So they're like, hey, let's just go buy Ferrari, and Ferrari uses that leverage in a buyout with Fiat. So that's egg on Ford's face, and then so the Henry Ford II decides to get back at him by trying to beat him at the 24 Hours of Le Mans.
Yep.
So they hire Carroll Shelby. Shelby wants Ken Miles to drive whatever prototype they build. Ken helps build it, but the Ford executives keep coming down on the team, being like, Ken can't represent the brand. He's like he's a hippie. He can't. That's not our image. And so a lot of it is Ken trying to tell Carroll Shelby that, all your ambition to like make this amazing car is going to get squashed by these Ford executives. And so, they go through like trying to race and the Ford coming down and like sabotaging everything. And then Carroll having to go back and explain like, we lost this one, but guess how we didn't lose? And then convincing them to go again and again. And then Ken dealing with his demons. And the best part of that movie is like, I'm not a car guy, but watching them try to explain like how these cars are amazing. And then like watching Christian Bale's character try to like rise above his situation. It's just inspiring. And the movie's like 150 minutes long or something. So it's really long, but I was always frustrated because someone, as we were leaving, was like, that movie was 150 minutes long. Like, but it was amazing. Like, I didn't feel like I was in there for almost 3 hours. Like, the racing's cool, like, intense. The Christian Bale's portrayal of the character is just like actually seeing him play someone British is fantastic. And then, like, Matt Damon's Southern drawl as Carroll Shelby, and standing up for Ken all the time, it's great. Like, definitely give it a watch.
Yeah. The trailer, every time I watch a trailer for it, it makes me feel like am I watching a trailer for a Ron Howard movie? And then I'm like, nope, I'm not watching a trailer for a Ron Howard movie.
Yeah. And the trailer makes you think it's like a rivalry between Ken and Carroll, but it's really still just Ford and Ferrari. And then just like the 24-hour Le Mans race at the end, like just the shots of the cars racing and like what all the dire situations, like they set everything up so it's like you really feel like the perils coming, and how dangerous things are. And I wasn't until the second viewing that I noticed stuff like, the period accurateness of some things. Except, here's one thing. There's a shot where Ken's driving with his wife and she's pissed off because she thinks he's quit racing and she found out he went and saw the prototype car. So Ken, they just went grocery shopping. Ken pulls a bag of bag of chips out of the grocery bag and starts eating them. The bag is like a modern, Safeway brand wavy potato chips bag, which isn't 60s graphic design appropriate. It's I was like, oops, all that attention to detail.
Just flushed down a toilet.
Yeah, it was fantastic. It might be in my top 10. We'll see.
Right on.
You know what I don't understand? So, December 6th is the Playmobil movie. Is the only wide release.
Okay.
December 13th is Black Christmas, Jumanji: The Next Level, Richard Jewell, Bombshell, and Uncut Gems. There's literally 5 movies.
Uncut Gems will probably be 6 theaters, but
yeah, Uncut Gems is going to have an expansion thing.
Still, but 4 of them are going to be.
But Jumanji and what is it?
Black Christmas, Bombshell, Richard Jewell,
and then
Black Christmas is counter programming. So yeah.
And then I think the following week is
Star
Cats. Well, no, Star Wars. Yeah, Star
Cats
Wars
and Star Wars.
Star Wars, and then the week after is Christmas weekend is Little Women and one other film, which I actually want to. I'm actually the last time I saw a trailer for Little Women, I was like, man, I do like Lady Bird. I want to watch Greta Gerwig do more shit.
Which holy shit, are we 6 weeks away from Film Explosion 2019?
Yeah.
Yep.
See, I'm conflicted because obviously the biggest movie of the year is Endgame, but I did Avengers branding for Film Explosion last year.
You do Joker.
Yeah, it feels like I'm doing Suicide Squad again, though. I was thinking maybe Shazam, but it wasn't that big of a movie.
I made $150 million.
It made money.
But it's the 25th highest grossing movie of the year.
I don't know. Let me think about it.
And Lion King is it's not really a 2019 movie.
That, and it's the branding is very interesting.
Yeah. It's not really, Aladdin is another.
Spider-Man Far From Home.
Yeah.
Do it.
Glass.
Do it.
Have we done Spider-Man branding for anything?
No.
No, we haven't.
Last year was Spider-Verse, the best movie of the year, but, what do I know?
Yeah. I'm trying to think if I can get that font, though.
The Spider-Man font? I'm sure you can.
The old one, for sure. The Sony one. But...
No, the Far From Home one, because it does look different.
It's handwritten.
Yeah.
I don't know. But it's 6 weeks away.
Yep.
So we need to pick a day.
Yeah, we will. Zach?
Not a whole lot.
Lies.
No, it really isn't. I actually spent a lot of the weekend editing. I did
Toys That Made Us.
Yeah, I watched Toys That Made Us. During the work week, I watched a docuseries called Wormwood on Netflix by Errol Morris, the guy who did The Thin Blue Line. The basic premise is it's basically the story of a guy who they said he jumped out of a window and committed suicide in the 50s, and he was working as a scientist for the CIA.
He was working for Wayne Enterprises.
No, he wasn't. And 20 years later, the government is they're revealed to have done a lot of the LSD tests that you hear about, that the government was fiddling around with, but the son in the family is still not convinced that that's the actual reason that he would have jumped to his death or whatever. So the whole series is kind of an investigation into, at the very least, what potentially happened to his father and why he would have been even subjected to an LSD test, let alone be involved in anything that could lead to his death anyway. I like Errol Morris. I don't love him. If you've watched The Thin Blue Line, it's a wonderful documentary that he does dramatic recreations within his films, and sometimes I feel like my problem with Morris is that sometimes they overshadow the subjects way too much. So, I'd rather hear from the people than just watch his very nice recreations. So it's still well made, and it's Errol Morris getting to work within a 5 to 7 hour window. So, it's pretty unhinged Morris. But, if you're into docuseries kind of that you wouldn't expect to really kind of get a kick out of. I think you'd enjoy it. And Tim Blake Nelson's running around in it as a character, and it's an interesting situation there. And then the last thing that I watched was I went to the theaters and saw The Irishman, and it's really good. It's very, very good. I think it's tough to judge it immediately within that first screening. Like, I mean, I would want to call it a masterpiece, but I really want to sit down and watch it again. If you don't know the story, it's the story
a
of
drunk guy. As an Irishman.
No,
Golly.
well, no, because Frank Sheeran. Like, the thing is that this story is not. The issue that I still have with it is, like, why would you tell this story when it can't be backed up, like, firmly? Because if you don't know the story, it's about Frank Sheeran, who was a hitman for the mafia, the Buffalino family in particular, and his friendship with Jimmy Hoffa. And there's discrepancies running around about, like, well, Frank Sheeran was a drunk who didn't actually kill anybody or whatever.
It really was about a drunk guy.
Yeah.
I was just making an Irish joke.
Yeah, no, that's why I was like, did you read into the article on it? But no, the bottom line is that, like, the movie's, like, factual, like, representation, like, the book was controversial to begin with. The point of the movie is about following the life of a man who lives that gangster life all the way through. So that 3.5 hours is absolutely justified. The last 30 minutes...
3.5 hours long?
Yeah, it is. So it's probably great for Netflix if you're really, like, not going to... I'll tell you, though, like, it flies by. I mean, at least for me. Like, and I like Scorsese and I like gangster movies, so that's probably why it flew by for me. The last 30 minutes of this movie is some of the most somber and reflective you've ever seen out of Scorsese. Like, there's very... You're not really, like, crying for the characters. You're crying for the interpretation of manhood that they've lived through their entire lives. Pacino is wonderful in the film. He's not really out of control in the movie. He's actually very well modulated. And he's playing Jimmy Hoffa, so he kind of has to be animated anyway because of who Hoffa was. This is the best De Niro performance I've seen in years. And Pesci is wonderful because he's not running around like a live wire. He's very quiet throughout the entire movie. It's like a very subdued performance where he's kind of just, he's a matter-of-fact, wizened man who's seen shit and just tells Frank what to do. He doesn't, like, run around and shoot people like he does as Tommy in Goodfellas. The supporting cast is wonderful. Ray Romano has a great role in the movie. And Anna Paquin's in it, and she's very important, even though I understand that there's flack for her not having more than one line of dialogue in the movie, but it's not the point. I would recommend it.
It's funny, you bring up all this stuff, and I have, like, she's getting flack for this. I'm like, I don't even know what you're talking about.
Well, it's because you gotta, you may not read the same, like, stuff that
Where do you
I'm reading.
read that from? I'm just curious.
Hollywood Reporter, Vanity Fair, Variety.
I didn't read anything from Hollywood Reporter. I get their updates.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I'm just curious.
Oh yeah, no. There's stuff about it. Like, people have problems with Anna Paquin's character because she plays the grown-up version of Frank Sheeran's daughter, but she only has one line in the movie. And I don't want to spoil it, but her silence in the movie is very important because it says a lot about how these gangsters live their lives and also what are the consequences of it. The best way I can sell this movie to people who, like, have had any reservations about watching it, if you've not liked Scorsese's gangster movies in the past, this movie asks people who love those movies, why do you like these movies? And asks some very hard questions about the costs of violence and the costs of toxic masculinity. This movie is the least violent gangster movie he's ever made. Anytime there's a killing in it, it's from a distance, and it's very quick, and it doesn't delve into the gratuity of it. So it's almost kind of like an old-timey gangster movie. And it's beautifully shot. It's beautifully directed. It's one of the best films of the year, hands down. I want to watch it again to, see how I'm feeling with it after I've sat with it for a while. I will say, though, like, I know I'm a proponent for watching these films on in the theaters to say fuck Netflix. I wouldn't begrudge anybody or even care if, like, I don't think it matters at this point. Just watch the movie. Like, it's worth it. I don't care how you see it. Like, it's good in the big screen. because it's an epic that spans over the course of like 5 decades. But if you have to, have patience with it, then watch it on Netflix. If you can find it in a theater and have the time to kill for this movie, go see it. And actually, Ryan, I think you might like it a lot because regardless of any accuracy issues with it, it's the attention to detail and just kind of the things it's playing around with in the labor, the union issues in the 50s and 60s, and specifically Hoffa's involvement in that. It reminded me a little bit of the stories I heard about Disney and his experiences with the picket lines and shit like that in the 40s. Not the same thing, but you almost understand Disney's side of it to a certain degree. I mean, like, I'm pro-union, but like, you get it. Like, there's shady shit going on, But anyway, and that's all I watched this week.
Yeah, I won't say because of what Martin Scorsese says about Marvel.
Well, that's a horrible reason to discredit a film.
Well, I mean,
especially
fuck him. I mean, I was reading a thing. His film has more digital effects than Avengers did.
Yeah,
with all the digital de-aging.
Oh, that's another thing. Like, I think it is because of stuff like Marvel where the technology in this did work for me. Like, there's only one shot in all 3 hours of that movie where I even noticed anything like that remotely looked like CGI. And it's just one shot, and that's it.
I'll probably see it. I like Scorsese.
Fucking there's a scene in the movie that if you've watched like stuff like Public Enemy and all that stuff, like those older ones with Cagney and whatnot, there's a killing in that movie that happens in a barber shop, and it's just the way it's shot. I was just like, man, like nobody is able to shoot the way they used to make a classic film like that, other than Scorsese. Like, he's the only one who understands that pacing. Like, it's beautiful.
Then they tell him, say, go see him in the barber shop and give him a little off the top.
I wish that was said. That would have been, oh my God, I would have loved that. But no, like when you see it, like I mean, it's pretty cool. But anyway, that's all I watched this week. Ryan, what did you watch this week?
Are you sure?
Yeah. Can I go?
Yeah.
So,
oh wait, this Jack Benny thing.
I missed last week because work, and so I was really bummed because I didn't get to talk about Jojo Rabbit, which is definitely one of the best movies of the year.
Oh yeah.
I cried 3 times in it, and they set you up a lot in the movie. I mean, since we're not doing this isn't a spoilers area, I won't spoil the film. But there's a lot with shoes that you don't realize until you see it, and you're like, oh, fuck this movie. And then, what's his little friend's name? Is it Gorky? Or Yorkie?
Yorkie.
Yeah. Is maybe one of my most favorite characters ever. Because you always see him, he says, Jojo! And he hugs him. And what's great about this movie is it's a movie about racism, but it's also about not being racist. Because there's a great moment. I think I'm gonna have to spoil some of the movie.
I mean, we did last week.
So
it hasn't aired yet. Sorry.
Well, you'll still put this one out after you put the other one up.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. So in it, this little boy named Jojo is part of Hitler Youth, and he worships Hitler. He buys into Hitler. His mother, Scarlett Johansson, supports her son going to this camp to learn to be a good little Hitler boy. And his little friend, Yorkie goes with him. It's this cute little plump. Like, if I could pick a perfect British kid, it'd be this kid.
He's a little Nick Frost.
Yeah, he is a little Nick Frost. And so they go there, and he tries really hard, to be a Nazi youth, and he grabs a grenade and throws it, and it bounces back and blows up, and it kind of gives him scarring. And what is cool, like, Hitler is his friend in it, but the way that Taika Waititi plays him is he plays it as I think a 10-year-old would see Adolf Hitler, because Hitler's kind of funny in it, and but there's these moments where he's yelling at Jojo, and they're kind of heartbreaking, and he's telling him, like, are you a good Nazi or not? And so you learn about halfway through the film that Jojo's mom is kind of in the resistance to Hitler, and they're keeping a young Jewish girl in their house. And when I mean that it's a movie about racism that also is great is there's a part where Jojo meets Yorkie again, and they're preparing for the invasion of the Allied into Berlin, I guess is where they live. They never said really. Anyways, Yorkie's there, and he says that he has a Jewish girl in his, in his house, and he says, and she's my girlfriend, and Yorkie says, "Oh, that's great for you, JoJo." Like they don't care, and you realize that this propaganda machine, because they also touch in it that you hear that Hitler's being destroyed, but they said, "No, don't worry, we're still going to win the war." Mm-hmm. And how it plays out is really great. Sam Rockwell is amazing in it. He plays a general that is in charge of these children because he got hurt in battle.
Mm-hmm. He screwed up some
yes,
battle, yeah.
And he blew up like part of his eye or something. And but you learn a lot about his character and that he doesn't fit into the traditional mold of being a Nazi as well.
Right.
And then Stephen Merchant plays part of the Gestapo.
It's one scene, but it's amazing.
And he's great because he's creepy and really well done. And you should just really see this movie. It's one of the, like, when I saw the trailer, I'm like, oh, this looks good. And then I saw a second trailer for it. I said, is this going to be one of my favorite movies of the year? And it hands down is. It's it will be in my top 10. I already know.
When I asked for German Shepherds, I meant actual German Shepherds. No way, it's a stupid name for a dog anyway.
And even Rebel Wilson's pretty funny in it. She's not in it very much.
But when she says something, it's pretty.
Yeah,
hilarious.
when she says, I've had 16 kids myself, because they're talking about what the German boys are going to do. They're going to fight and do all this stuff, and then the girls are going to clean and have babies.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a really great film. You should definitely see it. I watched 2019's Pet Sematary.
Oh, you didn't watch it yet? That's right.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty well made. It has the same problems I have with the original.
Right.
It's
because it's that story.
It takes it more seriously. Mm-hmm. It's shot more edgy, where Mary Lambert kind of shot it kind of campy.
It feels like it's more appropriate for the story they're trying to tell.
John Lithgow's really good in it, and they change it to
the
slasher film.
And the daughter changed too. I bet it's what
I mean, I don't mind that. I mean, that's a big change in it. I don't mind the change.
It is more of a slashery kind of.
But when she comes back, she kind of turns into a slasher film, which is fine. The ending is. There's a couple big changes from the book. Mm-hmm. I mean, it looks. I mean, it's a beautifully shot film.
Right. The guys who did Starry Eyes, and Starry Eyes is really good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's funny. I liked it when I walked out of it, and then it hasn't stuck with me.
Like I said, I rewatched the original Pet Sematary because it was on your list, and I liked it more.
Yeah.
When I watched it recently, but I think they're about the same. I don't think one of them stands above.
Yeah.
The other one,
they're certainly not unwatchable.
No, I mean, if you watch a horror film, they're fun.
I like the original one though because Fred Gwynn's just it is the best Fred Gwynn performance technically. So
yeah, it's fun. The Blu-ray was on sale. I think I got it for like $7, and I'm glad I kind of waited.
Not even 4K. You just went right to the Blu-ray.
Yeah, I don't care on 4K. I don't fucking care. So there's some movies I care about that on 4K, obviously.
We need to give Jason Clarke better movies to do.
Yeah, no, he's good. Even Terminator. I think he's good in Terminator.
Yeah, but what are we doing wrong by him, Ryan? What have we done wrong
he's
by
making
him?
his own movies.
Yeah, he's good. Yeah, he's directing and everything.
Jason Clarke's directing?
Yeah.
Ooh, nice.
Writing, directing.
That's Joel Edgerton, I know.
I'll look it up. I think they're both doing it.
Yeah. I saw Last Christmas.
My sister saw that.
Emilia Clarke and Henry Golding movie.
Mm-hmm.
In it, Emilia Clarke plays a woman who is an alcoholic, sleeps with random men, works at a Christmas store, and she doesn't appreciate a gift she was given.
Mm-hmm.
And it's set to the music of George Michael, so it's really the Last Christmas song.
Yeah.
But they also have Faith and a couple of Wham songs. And it's really cute seeing her in that because she's really fun.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're used to seeing her, whether it's in Game of Thrones or Terminator, where she's not really cut loose. And she can sing and she can dance. She's pretty good entertainer. It's a cute movie.
Right
on. I won't spoil this one. I think some people have already spoiled it, but
my sister already told me.
Yeah, and it's interesting. I mean, I kind of had a feeling he was going to be what he is from the trailers. I thought maybe an angel, because it kind of. I mean, he's no Cary Grant, but I mean, who is?
It's Paul Feig, so
yeah, it's funnier than I thought it would be. It's when I went and saw it at Alamo. I was really just looking for a movie to watch because Laura was studying and it was Friday, so I had to wait before I picked up Kellen.
You saw it was Last Christmas and The Irishman. You said, "Fuck Marty."
Well, I'm not going to say a 3.5 hour long movie.
That's true.
Especially one that I wasn't sold on yet. So I went there, and I was the only one in this row. And
really,
about 10 minutes before the movie started, the whole row in front of me filled up, and then the row in front of me. So I was really surprised I didn't do that well at the box office. I said because it was like 11:30 on Friday. I said, "Wow, this movie's kind of packed for an 11:30 on Friday."
Maybe it's like one of those like we just got from the bar.
It might have a lot of legs, though. Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this the only like actual Christmas movie getting released at Christmas time this year, or
Black
like
Christmas.
Yeah, but like traditional
yeah.
Frozen.
Yeah.
Frozen. Yeah, I guess Frozen could be a Christmas movie.
You can let that one go.
So Jason Clarke has no directing credits.
Oh.
Okay.
I don't know what I was thinking. I guess it was
Yeah.
just Joel Edgerton.
Um,
Also, Ford v Ferrari sold out both screenings I went to.
wow.
That's the ultimate
Well,
dad movie.
Well, it did because I heard it was projected to do 23 and ended up doing 32, and it could even do more. So
Yeah.
I think the word of mouth got out that the movie was really good.
Yeah. Meanwhile, our movie of the week.
And then the last thing I watched this week, I watched two things. I watched Avengers Endgame with Kellen, and he loved it. I didn't know if he could sit through a 3-hour-long movie, but he sat through the movie.
Did you just pee in his seat?
No, he's a big boy. He's all right. He can hold it. And
No, maybe don't say he can hold it.
and then I also watched Aladdin with him, not the remake, but the cartoon. That cartoon is so good.
Yeah.
And it moves so quick.
4K?
No, I haven't got the 4K. I'm still on the fence about upgrading to hand-drawn animation in 4K.
I should bring over some of my 4K hand-drawn animations for you.
Yeah, just to see.
Because I can't test them on my TV.
I'm just curious.
Yeah.
The last thing I saw this week is The Favorite, which is from last year with Emma Stone and Rachel Weisz.
How'd you like it?
And I thought it was actually really good.
Yeah.
It's a really fascinating movie. I mean, you talk about historical taking a lot of liberties. This movie definitely does. It's kind of fun seeing them talk modern, but the setting is still where it's at.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's great. I mean, I was shocked that Emma Stone's naked in it. Like, it's one of those things. Because she's one of those actresses I would never think of being. I mean, it's like Katie Holmes when I saw her in The Gift. I go, oh.
Yeah.
But the movie, I mean, it's about Queen Anne, and she's kind of nuts, but she's also sleeping with Lady Marlborough, played by Rachel Weisz, and she's really great in the movie because she plays like the duality of the role, where she's really tender with the Queen for a little bit, but then when she wants to get stuff her way, she's kind of mean.
Yeah, like an overbearing, like quote unquote wife, or like,
and she takes advantage of Queen Anne being a lesbian and
Deteriorating health.
And then it's interesting too because Emma Stone comes in as this, oh, look at me, I'm a poor servant now and I've lost everything, but then she's really conniving.
Yeah,
and her character is really great. I thought the movie was really good.
I that final shot with the
bunnies.
No, it's not. It's not so much that. It's just the implication of like Queen Anne. At the end, you kind of realize like she's in much more control than you've been led to believe the entire film.
Well, I think you get that too, where she realized she didn't want to tell the dudes that they're gonna the House of Commons that she's going to raise the taxes or Parliament.
Yeah,
and so she faked being sick.
Yeah.
So she's definitely way more in control. And who's the actress who plays her?
Olivia Colman.
She's amazing.
Who,
in the movie.
I mean, talk about a journey from Hot Fuzz to that.
And Nicholas Hoult is fucking great in it too.
Oh my god, when he pushes Emma Stone into the ditch, it's really like it's one of those like, oh my god, and then you just start laughing your ass off.
It's an interesting because I read that he just does all natural lighting in the film, and you can tell, and it's shot really well.
Yeah.
I know someone mentioned to me that you might get annoyed with that fisheye stuff.
Yeah, fisheye was my only
that's whatever. He's making a point and he's shooting it the way he wants to shoot it. That doesn't bother me as much as Tom Hooper's like Dutch angles
Yeah,
and
no.
extreme close-ups.
No, Lanthimos with this film did pretty much his version of a Barry Lyndon, like Kubrick's Barry Lyndon,
Yeah.
where it's just it's very.
Well, it's one of those movies too. I think it's 2 hours long, but it moved quickly.
Oh, yeah.
because the acting is so tight and the pace is so well.
Yeah, that was a really good Alamo experience. Was watching that at the Alamo.
So yeah,
Sloan's
I was
last year.
surprised. It was good. It was another one that I didn't get right away. I waited and I waited and I waited, and then eventually it was $9. And
Did you watch The Lobster?
no,
Okay, it's
I
from
have
the,
never seen any of his other movies.
yeah, it's from the same guy. Yeah, you might like it.
But yeah, it was fun.
You won't like Dogtooth.
Okay, I'll probably watch it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I watched this week.
Sweet.
This week on Real Nerds, we saw Charlie's Angels. Brad, did you see Charlie's Angels?
Nope, I watched Ford v Ferrari twice.
Good choice. Zach, did you see Charlie's Angels?
I did.
And should people go see Charlie's Angels?
So I don't.
Oh fuck, yes or no?
Yes, but I have. Yes, but I have issues with the movie. I had fun with what they were doing, but there's problems, and there's a reason why the film's not doing well. So, Ryan, should people go see Charlie's
I think you can
Angels?
rent it. I don't think there's anything that forces you to go out to see it. It seems really unnecessary.
Yeah.
It's cool. I love Elizabeth Banks. I think it's cool that she's directing a movie like this.
Yeah.
I think it's well directed. It's fun seeing Kristen Stewart smile and actually have fun in a movie, not some dour, petulant fucking teenager who's crying over a shiny fucking vampire.
I love your review of Twilight.
But I don't understand why it was made.
We'll talk about
Because
that.
I don't think it's a horrible movie. But
No.
I'm watching and I'm going, oh. And what made me really mad about this movie is it wasn't showing at the fucking Alamo, so I had to pay $5 to go see it. Here's a trailer for Charlie's Angels.
Hello?
You're in grave danger. Get out of there now!
Open Safe House 6. Welcome to the Townsend Agency. I run a covert group of exceptional women. So you guys are like lady spies. We work outside the rules. I don't like that, boy. In secret. Together. You may not know we exist, but we are always watching.
Who steals humanitarian aid money?
You are in the presence of angels.
So, you want to train to be an angel?
Hell yeah.
Give me my wings.
Let's go! Where do you think you're going? You need to land this bird, Hoffman. What? Later! Here we go.
Sit down, keep your hands where I can see them.
Really not supposed to be touching things in here unless you're supposed to be touching things in here.
You're adorable.
Jane, is that you flirting with a handsome nerd? Bad girl, you sad girl, you're such a dirty bad girl.
The best part is them taking down international criminals. It's you guys. And the day drinking. That's what I like the most. Take her to the closet. So I can just take whatever I want? Borrow.
Is that an actual rule?
Angel. Time to go to work.
This version of Charlie's Angels is more of, I guess, Townsend has more than 3 Charlie's Angels. They recruit a bunch of females, and it takes place in the same universe because they do show the original Charlie's Angels, and then they show the Drew Barrymore version of Charlie's Angels. So this is just a continuation of those Charlie's Angels. So it's not really even a reboot; it's actually a sequel.
Yeah. And it's the mysterious case of the mini Bosleys
And
in
then
this whole
they
affair.
superimpose Patrick Stewart's Bosley into Bill Murray's Bosley.
Yeah.
So Bill Murray isn't shown in the film. It's Patrick Stewart is shown with Cameron Diaz, Lucy Liu, and Drew Barrymore.
Yeah, so did they change the I mean,
Or they couldn't get a release from...
Here's the question. Does the continuity matter? And my answer is no. But, and I like watching Patrick Stewart be we're in spoiler territory. He's a villain. where he portrays the
Well, it was
agency.
interesting. The one thing I thought was interesting about the film is they play their hand really quick of Elizabeth Banks being the villain.
Yeah.
I go, she's the villain.
Yeah, and then that twist is kind of clumsily.
Yeah.
Like when they get back to the Istanbul hideout, and then Patrick Stewart makes the call, and then the explosion happens.
Yeah.
The twist that it's Stewart.
The twist of the twist.
The reveal is off. It's not.
I think it's a writing issue there because so in the film, Kristen Stewart and Bella, the other lady, she's good in it.
Jane,
yeah, something like that. They're like the elite Charlie's Angels, and then there's a female played by Naomi Scott who is in Aladdin. I think she's beautiful.
Yeah,
but,
Power Rangers.
Yeah, Power Rangers. She is in Power Rangers. Anyway, so she's in this dead end job, and they create a device that can power buildings without tapping into the electrical grid.
A MacGuffin. It's a MacGuffin.
Fusion reactor? Holy shit.
Yeah, so basically it's just a MacGuffin to weaponize things. You can also turn it into a weapon.
Yeah.
Like the Wayne Tech bomb in Dark Knight Rises.
It is like the Wayne Tech bomb.
Or like the government secrets in North by Northwest.
Yep.
See, we all talked about things we loved.
So in it, they recruit Naomi Scott's character, who I don't remember her name, into Charlie's Angels.
Elena, yeah.
Elena, that's right.
Yeah.
And, Elizabeth Banks is Bosley, and there's actually a group of Bosleys. It's like a lieutenant, they said.
Mm-hmm.
So they all have their own angels. And it turns out that Elizabeth Banks is a bad guy, trying to get this. But then you find out that it's actually Patrick Stewart who retired. And the only reason he's doing it is because they forced him to retire. And so now he's going to sell.
So the Mission Impossible plot.
Yes.
Yeah, so they basically tried to do De Palma's Mission Impossible into this movie. And
the movie's fun.
It is.
And there's some moments that are pretty. I thought the horse track part was pretty fun.
Yeah, and Kristen Stewart's really fun in this movie.
Yeah, she is. But the whole thing is just, it seems unnecessary. Because when I watch it, like I gave it 3 stars, and I'm watching and saying, no, this isn't a bad movie, but why does it exist? Give me a reason.
It's confusing because it seems like the appeal of the original Charlie's Angels was like, it's a network TV show that had like 3 pretty women on it, and that was it. And now and then like the movies were just like capitalizing on that novelty.
Yeah.
And now it's like I appreciate that they're going like, oh, well, let's legitimize this and make it like for women,
right?
And like empowering.
Yeah.
But it just sounds like, it was just kind of like lame.
Yeah, and it's again, there's nothing really bad, and so you still think that Elizabeth Banks is bad. So they go to this like quarry or something, and they fight the bad guys, and she just takes off. Why couldn't you just tell them, saying, "Hey, the other Bosley is still alive"?
I mean, I don't know, to like keep her cover or whatever. I mean, like, I'll tell you right now, from the moment, like, I was having fun with the film, I was like, oh, I'm getting into this, whatever, and then that twist happens with the building blowing up, and from there all the way to the end, it fell apart for me.
Yeah.
The third act of the film, there are good moments in it, but the editing's off. It seems like plot points or like interconnecting tissue is missing within the last literally 5 minutes of the movie. There's story decisions with the characters that are strange. I mean, I think that ultimately, like, the issue with the film is that you have a really good build-up where, I mean, like, outside of the outstanding references to previous Charlie's Angels, it's kind of setting itself with its own tone. Like, it feels like an international spy movie. Like, Banks can direct stuff pretty interestingly. I actually think that the opening 5 minutes of the movie is my favorite part because it's a great setup that's beautifully executed with its cinematography.
Yeah, because of that part with Australian John.
Yeah, and just starting on that one image of Stewart listening to what his mansplaining is or whatever the heck, and Stewart responding like, "Oh, that's cute, you freaking misogynist." But like after that point though, I am kind of like, okay, well, now it's just a spy movie. Once you get to the third act, I'm like, okay, now this is just it's going all over the place. I like the idea that all the other angels were in that room.
Yeah, it reminded me a lot of the end of Buffy the Vampire Slayer,
which is fun. But like I don't know. Like for some reason, it threw me off. But, like, at the end of the day, like, if you were to go see this at a matinee with a bunch of friends and just to have fun with it, like, you could do worse. Like,
yeah, I mean, I don't think it's necessary to see. If you're interested, I say rent it.
That's fair, too.
And it's, you know, it is interesting seeing Kristen Stewart play, like, a bombshell where she's in sexy clothes and she's flirting with men. And what's cool is, I mean, she sets it up at the beginning where she says that men don't perceive women as a threat until 7 seconds later.
Right.
And so it's a kind of a cool, like, take on that.
Right.
And like I said, it's fun to see her smile because she seems like she takes roles so seriously.
Her comic timing is impeccable. Like, she's got the one-liners in this movie, and it shows. And she's got some fun. Like, she's got the fun moments in the movie. I mean, Jimon Hansu is in the movie for like a hot minute, and he's fun. I mean,
the dude who played the Saint, that was his name?
Yeah. He's
or the Guru. I forget. He was good.
But yeah, I mean, everybody's doing a fine job. Like, I mean, Stewart's interesting in the movie. I mean, like, don't know really.
I mean, he did have that great line where he pulled out and the scientist guy fell out. He's like, he was in there the whole time. That was funny. That was my favorite line in the movie.
Yeah, it's. I mean, like, I applaud Banks making the movie though, because like it shows that she can direct action, like, and she's already proven she can direct a hit film with Pitch Perfect too.
I wasn't surprised because when you do a musical, you have to have good timing and pacing.
Yeah.
So I was not that surprised that she pulled it off.
Yeah.
And she's super talented and super awesome. I really like her.
And her fight sequences are very well executed. I think ultimately
the editing's a little sloppy though.
Yeah, I think ultimately, you know what I would love to see Banks do is something a little bit.
She should do Mission Impossible movie.
She could do that. I mean, also I'd like to see her do like if she's gonna do an action film, I'd like her to be set up with a better property.
Yeah.
I don't think it's anybody else's fault other than the fact that, as Brad said, you've got this property that ultimately was like made for kitsch factor to begin with in the 70s. Like, it can be used for the good they were trying for in this movie, but I don't know if it works at this time. So, but I had fun with it, and
it exists.
And that theme song's catchy with Miley Cyrus, so why not? You know,
it exists.
Yeah.
Next week, are we seeing Frozen 2 or A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood?
Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, right?
Cool.
Hello, neighbor.
That's what we're seeing.
It's Tom Hanks. We've got to go see it.
Yep. I'm down. Thanks for listening.
Oh, sorry. We're seeing the Playmobil movie early, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Real Nerds Podcast. Real Nerds Podcast is a production of Nebulous Visions Multimedia. Thank you to Sparks Mandrill and Plan 9 Studios for our kick-ass theme song. Also, if you're in the Denver area and you're looking for a cool place to see movies, we see them at the Alamo Drafthouse in Littleton and now also in Sloan's Lake. Thank you to Colorado Coins, Cards, and Comics for supplying us with all our comic needs, especially you, Andrew. You know who you are. And a big shout out to James's mom. I'm giving you an electronic hug that you can feel through the airwaves. Thanks for listening, and have a nice day.